some ideas have come up with like membership refresh or something along those lines, right? Have you seen this happen in some of the social groups? And how do you balance that with the idea of like, if I own something, I shouldn't lose it, right? Like they are an owner and you can't take it away from them. But do you take away certain rights for them to then have a say in governance if they're inactive?
Yeah, I think this is a really important point, and honestly, I think that a lot of DeFi communities went through this, very real this past year. There was a big wave around DeFi. DeFi tokens were mooning, and once those tokens started not appreciating as much, those discords became ghost towns because there was no longer that hyper excitement to participate. The one trend that I'm excited about from social tokens is the idea of seasons. So basically defining a fixed period of time with a shared mission or intent for a goal to solve. And so every season you come together as a community, you say, hey, for the next 3 months, we want to do this as our core target. You broadly spec out the intents and the goals of that particular time frame, and then you add incentives around it to make sure that you accomplish it. So for example, allocating a fixed number of tokens to the course of that season for core contributors, or for example, putting a bounty on the back of a task or a service to be performed within that season's goals. I think that's a great way to align these decentralized communities. And the refresh that happens is basically when a season ends, you have the opportunity to either increase a threshold. So in the case of FWB, what we did is every season we increased it by 5 tokens. So if you were active in the previous season, you typically earned enough tokens from source cred to be over the next threshold for the following one. But if you were inactive, you now have to revisit that community and say, oh, why did I get kicked out of this group? It's because I was inactive. There's a new season. It requires me to read up on what's been happening and what's going to happen next. And I think that constant re-engagement method of like, it's okay to be passive and not contribute, but you can't free ride this. If you're going to free ride this, you need to come and give capital back into the DAO in order to stay involved. I feel like it's a great way to make sure you're constantly re-engaging people and making sure that those who are creating the most value are always earning the rewards from doing so.